All right, y'all. Sorry about the big setup there, but needed to get the phone situation done. But so breaking news. I'm sure you guys all woke up to it like I did. But Conor McGregor is arrested. Even worse, the news is getting worse and worse. Max Holloway is out. I guess the Nevada State Athletic Commission I don't know, pulled him because he couldn't make weight. He was trying to make weight, and I guess it was just getting unhealthy. So they stopped him from making weight, and so he's out. Now they're asking Sergio Pettis to step in because I think Dana does this thing where, like, even if one of the fighters didn't make, like, one of the fighters that was contracted to fight, like, didn't make weight, he still asked the other fighter to, just to kind of make sure he actually was going to make weight and all that stuff. So yeah, so there's that. This is I think Ariel Helwani reported it. MMA something reported it as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Max Holloway is out again, unfortunately. So now it's 4 fights on the card. This one wasn't Conor's fault, though. You can't blame Conor for that one. But yeah. So Conor, like I said, Conor McGregor got arrested. I think late in the evening. I believe he turned himself in. Max Holloway this morning, the doctor said that the commission said that he was medically uncleared, it was unsafe for him to fight. Someone asked, what did Conor do? He jacked up Khabib, or not even Khabib's, the bus that Khabib was on, but really it was actually the UFC's bus. Dana White is super pissed. He was saying this morning on ESPN that that he's not actually helping Conor. So normally he'd be like, yeah, in a situation, you know, I'd be in the police station helping my guy. But he's like, this time he's on his own. He can take care of it. He's super pissed at him. I mean, you figure, well, now, like I said, Max Holloway being off the card is not Conor McGregor's fault, but the fact that all this happened, and on top of that, like the card, like the main event just is getting scrapped now, it looks like. Dana's just pissed overall. So I mean, 3 fights ended up getting taken down because of what happened with Conor. Obviously Artem was with Conor, so they scrapped that. Let's see. Yeah, so Artem was with Conor. Dana got pissed about that, said he's not on the card anymore. Then obviously the Michael Chiesa thing, right where Conor threw the big metal dolly through the bus. I'm sure you've seen on like TMZ's video, and it's also on my Instagram and stuff like that. It's KO Artist Sports. You could clearly see Conor grab like a big old metal dolly and throw it through the bus. Well, that window where he threw it happened to be where Michael Chiesa was. So he has multiple cuts. He's off the card already. Like I said, Sergio Pettis is being asked to fill in for Max Holloway now. And he still has to make weight. He was still making weight anyway. So even though last night we were kind of unsure, I'm sure even he was unsure. So he kind of thought, hey, maybe Chiesa still is able to fight. Who knows? He doesn't know how deep the cuts are for Chiesa or anything like that. So so he was still making weight. And like I said, I want to say UFC has something that, like, if a fighter still, if one of the fighters is called off the card, but it's like in fight week or still kind of like, a day or 2 days before, I think UFC kind of they still ask their fighter to still make weight, because had they not made weight, because the UFC still pays them, in most cases, from what I understand. So yeah, so I think they still ask Pettis to still make weight, just to kind of make sure he was going to be on weight and the fight was going to go through anyway, and then they were probably going to still pay him. So yeah, so Sergio was going to fight anyway, I mean, that's a lot to ask somebody, especially, you know, unfortunately, Sergio Pettis, who, I want to say maybe he won his last fight. I can't think, but I know he's lost a couple big ones. I know he lost to Barbosa. I know he's lost some. Hold on. What was he thinking? Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea. But I think he was just pissed about the Artem thing. But yeah, so if you don't know, Khabib kind of confronted Artem in the hotel lobby 2 days ago, I want to say. Even slapped him on the head. But that was because Artem said something on a Russian interview about how, like, I think he called Khabib a pussy or something like that. And so when Khabib saw him, he was like, well, say it to my face, you know? And Artem was not about it. And so that's why Conor went nuts. But getting back to Sergio Pettis. So Sergio Pettis is being asked to take the fight. But, you know, like I was saying, I want to say Sergio's won his last fight maybe. But I know the last few ones, I know Barbosa, obviously Holloway got knocked out. So, you know, that's kind of, and that was at featherweight, I understand that he didn't make weight and all that, but Pettis necessarily hasn't been, you know, he wasn't the surging lightweight champion Pettis, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, Anthony Pettis, you're right. Yeah, sorry, you're right, Anthony Pettis. How did I say Sergio? Sorry about that. But yeah, so Anthony Pettis is being asked to fill in for Khabib. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Oh man, I'm super bummed that Max Holloway's out. I was as much as obviously we all wanted to see Ferguson versus Khabib. I was not mad at the Holloway versus Khabib fight. Obviously, it's hard to prepare for a guy, especially like Khabib. I mean, it's impossible to prepare for a guy like Khabib in 6 days. But it still would have been nice, like Max was saying, you know, like Khabib has to prepare for him. So that was kind of true. I kind of wanted to see, you know, because Max, I think, has only been taken down once in like a few years now or something like that. So obviously Khabib is a bigger guy and isn't just your regular, you know, wrestler or anything like that. But or jiu-jitsu guy where he's going to try to take you down. He's not like a basic dude. Obviously, he's phenomenal at what he does. But I was so interested to see how that was going to happen. But you know, unfortunately, that's out. I don't know. Hopefully, these fights can be remade because I really wanted to see Chiesa versus Pettis. Now, if you're Anthony Pettis, do you take that fight? You know, all you guys watching, what do you think? Because I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to offer you a lot of money. So, you know, sure, maybe you were going from obviously making whatever you were going to make against Chiesa. Possible win bonus, possible fight of the night bonus, things like that. Then yesterday's events happened, so you don't even know if you're going to fight. Maybe you do find out. I want to say late last night, Chiesa announced that he wasn't going to be medically cleared to fight. But, I mean, shit, like, you know, last night, say if you're Anthony Pettis, you got that message. You got that notification, right, that he's out. You're still trying to make weight. You're still struggling to make weight. And now this morning you wake up to the main event guy's out. So, you know, do you take that challenge in such a shorter period of time? Literally a day before? You know, I don't know. That's a lot to ask of Anthony for sure. So you know, I would hope that Rose and Joanna get the main event. They should now at this point, being that you know, obviously whoever, if they do get Khabib to fight Anthony, you know, that's still, you know, I don't know if you can really sell that as a main event. I know Khabib's the star and everything, but you know, realistically, the main event should be Joanna versus Rose 2, which probably could have held its own main event on another show anyway. I don't know about a pay-per-view, just because I know Joanna was getting pretty popular, but the upset, you know, kind of shocked them. I mean, maybe, who knows? But shit, now it should be. That's for damn sure. So, do you think Conor gets jail time in New York? I I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to keep rich people in jail. Now, unfortunately, there's like clear evidence of what he did, so there isn't like you can say he didn't do it, like in other cases, say with fighters like say Floyd with his domestic violence cases and stuff like that. There wasn't video evidence of that stuff, so I think he pleaded no contest and only spent like 90 days in jail or something like that. But with Conor, there's video evidence that he did what he did. So yeah, that one, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it would be, I mean, obviously it was unintentional, the cuts that happened to Michael Chiesa, but that doesn't matter. If you're I don't know what charge that would be, where, what would that charge be? Damage of property. So he would get charged with something. I know there's like an official name for it, but destruction of property. So he would get for sure charged with something like that. I think they're looking for one of his friends too. That's another thing Ariel Helwani said, that they're looking for his friend, one of his friends, and I'm sure they're still investigating. I'm sure more arrests will be made once people start reviewing tapes and figuring out who's who. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen the thing, it's the full footage of it is on my YouTube. One of the videos on my YouTube. I have a video of him kind of escaping too. I'm gonna put up another video that I found this morning of him leaving the arena. So check that out. But yeah, so this is where we're at. I guess we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Like I said again, so 4 fights now are off the card. Chiesa and Anthony Pettis is off. Like I said, they're asking Pettis to take over for Max Holloway, and versus Khabib is off right now, or at least Holloway's out. They're, like I said, they're trying to get Anthony to step in for Khabib. We'll see what's gonna, or I'm sorry, step in for Max. So we'll see what happens with that. And Ray Borg versus the kid from The Ultimate Fighter. He's from Mexico. Who is that? Do you guys know who that is? I can't remember that guy's name. Young kid, real funny. He was in one of The Ultimate Fighters. Let's see, I think someone's telling me. Should get delayed with so many fighters off. Yeah, for assault, vandalism, and trespassing. Yeah, no, all of those things. I mean, I see what you mean. As a fan watching at home, I see where you just kind of be like, well, just scrap it. But the thing is, all these fighters made, you know, all the fighters that did make weight, I mean, we're talking fighters, you know, you figure if you're like me and at least for sure watch the Fight Pass the you know, the FS1 prelims or whatever, you're starting to watch fights at 5 o'clock. I mean, you're talking about, that's a good, how many fights are on those cards? Like 5, 6, something like that. Then the main event is another 4 or 5. I mean, I know like 4 fights are off now, but it's kind of one of those, you know, all these other guys didn't do anything, you know what I mean? So yeah, as a fan, we probably should get a discount, especially if we're watching at home, because now you're asking us to pay, you know, full price for like we said, 4 less fights than we thought we were gonna get. So you would hope they would maybe just do like a special of like, hey, well, you know, half off or 70, you know, 25% off something. But you know what? Just with all this publicity it's getting, the fact that they're gonna talk about it, the fact that they're gonna give like up to the minute updates. I could obviously they're still going through with the card, just because, like I said, Joanna and Rose is enough to kind of make that a headliner. They're gonna move a few cards. I'm sure maybe Fight Pass won't even get any fights. They might get like 1 fight at this point. I want to say there were 3 Fight Pass fights, so they might just get 1 just to you know, just to kind of fill in the rest of the cards, the FS1 card and the pay-per-view. So yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, as far as, you know, the pay-per-view and stuff, I'm sure we'll still go through. And you know, yeah, unfortunately, you know, all those seats are sold. You pay for the the site fee with the Madison Square Garden. They did all the promotion. I mean, to scrap the whole card would just be really devastating, especially this close to it. I think if all this stuff happened 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or something, like, yeah, for sure, I think they probably would scrap it. 4 fights off a card, and one of them being the main event, you know, of course, yeah, they would definitely scrap it if it was a long time ago. But the fact that it's day of, you know, it might just be a matter of just, you know, Anthony Pettis was already looking like he wasn't going to fight because of what happened at Chiesa. Obviously Max Holloway, like, so Khabib, it might just be a matter of Khabib just, you know, you can't fight. Unfortunately, that's another thing. Khabib actually made weight. He was 154.5, so he made underweight a good half a pound, which is a lot for these guys. And Khabib didn't have to wear a towel or nothing, so you know, he was probably a good 153.5 maybe, because usually, you know, a half a pound or so comes off with, like, you know, whatever underwear and stuff these guys are wearing. So so he made weight. I feel bad for him too. But yeah, so this is where we're at. 4 fights off. Like I said, Artem is off. Max Holloway is out. Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis is done. And damn, what was the 4th one? Borg, Max, Pettis. Wait, what's the 4th one? Borg, Max, Pettis. Oh yeah, So Ray Borg versus that kid that I can't think of his name right now, but the kid from Mexico who's like really funny. Kind of has like bad teeth, but that's my boy though. That's my boy. But yeah, like, I really wanted to see that damn fight too, man. I like that kid from Mexico. Damn it, I can't think of his name. What's that kid's name who's gonna fight Ray Borg? Help me out here, guys. Yeah, so anyway, those 4 fights are off. We'll see what happens later. Like I said, I'm gonna post a video of Conor leaving the arena, so check that out. And you know, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys watching. Sorry I had to do this while I was driving to work, but you know, I woke up to it this morning like most of you guys. So yeah, we'll see what happens later. I will maybe do another reaction video, depending on what else happens, and stay tuned. Thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it.